Utterances of Umahi, who chose the Peter Obi's comment as an excuse to drag the Igbos into Thiefnubu's contentious, controversial coastal highway. Why? There is more to this tonight, so let's just get straight into it. So good evening to you once again. Good morning to you and good afternoon to you from wherever you are joining me from. Thank you so much, right, for sharing this. It is Mayegun Live. But before I delve into this fully, I'm going to give you the context for tonight's headliner, all right? But I quickly want to say one or two things as well to all of you who have been very much in support of this, of this platform, especially myself, Mayegun. So I want to say special thanks to our own prayer docent. Thank you so much, Ma, for all of your every time generosity. And indeed, Paul is also grateful. I hope you got my message anyway, because I don't know how to actually get that past to you than this. So thanks so much, everyone. So let's get fully into it. For context, yesterday, the Minister of Potholes, that is now, well, Umahi, that is now the Minister of Coastal Highway. There is so much questions concerning this fraudulent coastal highway. Of course, they are pushing different propaganda to make it sound like, oh my God, it is the greatest thing about to happen to Nigeria. Fair enough. They said it is going to be Thiefnubu's legacy project. And it is going to be one singular, greatest, the biggest, the most costliest project in Nigeria's history. 15 trillion naira project. And it didn't go through any sort of a tender board. It didn't go through any bidding. It didn't go through the National Assembly for the conversation around this, right? It was all done by Thiefnubu and Umahi. And this is the first time where, a project will be consummated and it will be commenced without any due process being followed. And then they are like, who are you asking us to take the permission from? I mean, argument around that is pretty much like, plus or minus for those, depends on the side of the divide that you are. But none of this should involve the Igbos. It has nothing to do with the Igbos. Okay? Peter Obi was arguing the viability or the plausibility of this project where 90% of your roads in Nigeria are completely unmotorable, federal roads. That's pretty much a brilliant argument put up by everybody. Atiku actually started it. It was Atiku that put them to test. And a lot of people have also put their own opinion on this. But Umahi is playing the devil's advocate. He didn't accuse Atiku of inciting Fulani against Thiefnubu. No. They said that Atiku is ignorant when he pointed out all of this. But when it got to the turn of Peter Obi, it suddenly turned to tribal dog whistle. So people have been reacting. So for context, Arise this morning, this morning show, they had a view on it. Just let's start from there. Then we get into others. Have you shared this broadcast? Oh, thank you. Have you liked it yet? Come on. Now let's get into it. From this table of DRIs, picking on this. Let's start from that.
The stakeholders meeting organized by the Ministry of Works to compensate property owners affected by the controversial Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project took a dramatic turn on Wednesday after the Minister of Works, David Umahi, accused property owners of playing politics. The minister also accused the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who has been quite vocal about the project, of inciting the people of the Southeast, who, according to him, are not well informed about the project, against the federal government. Let's take a look.
I just believe that my brother Landmark is simply playing politics with, politicians. Because there is nothing to claim. It brings me to some of the comments made by my brother, His Excellency Peter Obi. I'm not supposed to comment about it because some people have already done the work, and I saw what Arise brought, the say courtesy channel, and they were bringing, similar scenario when His Excellency Peter Obi was governor, and he made a statement. He said, any infrastructure that stands on the way of road construction must go, and there will be no compensation paid, quote and unquote. That's what he said. But look at me, by the human face of Renewed Hope Agenda administration, we are even paying for people that are illegally staying on the coastline and do not even have, valid infrastructure and valid documents. That is messy. That is messy. Some people darken counsel without knowledge. There is devil in details. When you bring judgment, when you condemn people, you bring judgment upon yourself. And that's what he has done. And I think he's inciting some of the Southeast people that are not well informed. He's inciting them, and he gets them into trouble. And he doesn't go to fight for them. Wisdom is a defense. We know money is a defense. But wisdom gives life to those that practice it. And I want our people to have wisdom because I'm involved.
All right, Dave Umahi here. He made a lot of statements yesterday that were, I believe, quite inflammatory because, some people were saying, who made him the mouthpiece of the Igbo people? And he's talking about the fact that, Peter Obi is inciting the Southeast people. I don't know where that is coming from because I believe he was referring to the video that we played yesterday where, Peter Obi had talked about reconstructing the roads. But, in Anambra State when he was governor, Peter Obi has responded. Well, in his response, Peter Obi, in a series of tweets, clarified the video in circulation, stating that during his tenure as governor of Anambra State, he made it abundantly clear that all structures obstructing existing roads and lacking approval will be removed, and that his actions were aimed at prioritizing the repair and maintenance of existing infrastructure to safeguard the livelihoods of Nigerians and to ensure the efficient use of resources. He also addressed the comparisons and Umahi's accusation. His tweet reads in part, "The ongoing destruction and disruption of jobs and livelihoods associated with the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road construction sharply contrasts with my administration's efforts to improve infrastructure while minimizing adverse impacts on communities. Regarding allegations of incitement against the government, I firmly reject these unfounded accusations aimed at tarnishing my character. My focus is on fostering constructive dialogue and inclusivity rather than engaging in divisive politics. Claims of incitement are baseless distractions. I have always advocated for unity and advancement, refusing to partake in reactionary, divisive politics. And we know that of Peter Obi because we have seen a lot of his statements on Twitter. He's very active on Twitter and he always calls for unity. Again, in clarifying the video that was in circulation, Peter Obi maintained that he was removing infrastructure that was already on existing roads. And, you know, it was different from what's actually happening now.
I'm happy Peter Obi has clarified. And I think Umahi was just rigmaroling and trying to divert attention by saying Peter Obi is inciting people. He's not inciting anybody. There's something you call scale of preference in a project. We can't be doing a project of over 1 trillion over 7 kilometers when the Ekpoma road is in a very dire condition and people cannot pass that road. There are other roads that need attention. So it's not sailing. So this is trying to distract, is not working.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Abati, before I come to you, in the meantime, during that interaction, the governor had said that the federal government has put a human face to the whole process and they compensated property owners with 2.7 billion naira yesterday. But in the meantime, users on social media have pulled up videos of bad roads which are overdue for reconstruction. Well, here is a video of the Benin-Auchi Road as reported on May 1st.
Jesus, and they tell her now, drive her inside door. He don't ready. Drive her inside door. You know, see some wicked. You don't. And they try to say, Mark, no go pass this thing. May not be saying avoid this thing carry.
And look at that disaster, Dr. Abati. And this was what Peter Obi had posted in 2 of his tweets. He did not talk about the fact that the government cannot construct the road, but he was talking about maintaining old roads. The stakeholder.
So that, like I said, it's for context. Before we delve fully into it tonight, there is nothing that has, there is nothing that the Igbos or the Easterners have to do with this. But Umahi decided to blow the dog whistle. And the ethnic tribal jingoists, the APC, Lagos Abobaku, the Yoruba Ponus, the Ronukus, Ronu Nazis, they finally found something to kind of say, let's feed on this. But the question is why? Like, why would you drag your people into something that they have not that the Igbos are even complaining that, why are you building coastal roads in Yoruba land and not in our land? Why are you not, there is nothing out there. It's just the general comment of, what are you guys doing? Then they singled him out. I want to let Rufai finish. Then I will continue, please.
May not be saying avoid this thing carry.
And look at that disaster, Dr. Abati. And this was what Peter Obi had posted in 2 of his tweets. He did not talk about the fact that the government cannot construct the road, but he was talking about maintaining old roads. And we are seeing this happening, and this was circulating only yesterday. But let me take a tweet from FS Yusuf, who wrote, "They want to build a coastal road linking Lagos to Calabar, but Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is a disaster. Lokoja-Benin Expressway is a disaster. Kaduna-Abuja Expressway is a disaster. All our major economic roads, none is in good shape. It takes a trailer 2 weeks to carry goods from one region to another in this country. The eagerness to carry out this coastal road can possibly point to the fact that the contractor is in government, or a good percentage of the budget goes back to individual projects. I smell another elephant project." Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, a number of issues. I'm not taking them necessarily in the order of importance.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not the first person to raise issues about that Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Before him, Atiku Abubakar did. Atiku Abubakar questioned the procurement process. The Waziri Adamawa said, look, this project is something being done to promote personal business interest of the president. And he said, High Tech, the company that has been given the project, the original plan was that they would do it 100%, build, operate, and transfer, according to Atiku Abubakar. And how come the same company will be given 1.07 trillion naira for channels 0 to 3 of the project? Nobody has properly addressed that question. So the whole thing about all these questions being raised, whether by Waziri Atiku Abubakar or by Mr. Peter Obi or the media, is simply that we need more information in terms of transparency and accountability. And Minister David Umahi should not think that he could just wave it off. Again, with regard to transparency and accountability, it was Mr. Peter Obi who raised the question that why is this a priority?
Yeah.
Now, the question to ask with regard to that, what are they doing about the old route?
Yeah.
This our Lagos Calabar route, the main road now,
Absolutely.
the one that passes through Second Niger Bridge.
That's the main question.
What are they? No. Just wait a moment. What are they doing about that route? Because it is likely that the Thiefnubu administration will abandon that because that's also an important route, and then do the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. What all of this shows is that the Thiefnubu administration has now put a burden onto itself. With all the furore, the ulabalu that we have had over this Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, they have an obligation to complete it. Dave Umahi is talking about channels 0 to 3, which is in Lagos State. Now, if they don't go beyond that Lagos State, people will accuse this administration of just interested in creating a road in Yoruba land and not taking it all the way. So President Thiefnubu must see this as a legacy project because he will be reminded if he doesn't complete it within his tenure, whether he's going to use 4 years or 8 years, you know, that he simply did it just to satisfy Yoruba Southwest interest. Northerners, even if he completes it, will say that this is a road that he has done in the South. Now, you pointed out the example of Benia-Uchi route.
Yes.
There are so many other routes.
That's why I read that tweet.
There is the East-West route in the South-South. There is the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where that's even in a better condition now. One of the things that the Buhari administration tried to address. But David Umahi has told us that they are working on other routes. He has talked about Badagry, Sokoto. He has talked about Calabar to Maiduguri. Now, we hope that attention will be paid to all of these other roads. But these roads that you showed us this morning is a statement on the Buhari administration, the maladministration that Nigerians had to endure for 8 years. So much money was spent under President Buhari on roads. Where are those roads?
Those are the questions.
But President Thiefnubu has said he's not here to complain.
Yeah.
He knows he has inherited problems. Can he solve those problems?
Yes.
And can we have evidence that he's working at
of our grading leaders? Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their journey. Our security agent, IE.
So for context, it's about those for and those against when it comes to using people's money to start a project that they cannot ask question about, awarded to your friend Shaguri, and no question asked. And then the alacrity at which they carry out the destruction of properties along that route tells or leaves so much to desire. But rather than them answer those questions, they will rather create a distraction. What is the Igbos' business? Umahi called Igbos. Some of our people are ignorant. He called Igbo people ignorant. What did they do? What is their business in all of this? How did Peter... Because there's something I used to ask myself. And that was that during Boko Haram's time, when those Fulani terrorists, Northern Islamic jihadists, under Boko Haram, including the bigoted ACN Abobaku of Lagos, riling and pushing the bigotry and their religious fanaticism and all that against the Igbos, just because they won't bow for Belal. And that is a Boko Haram. Like those of them who were like appointees of Boko Haram then, how were they kind of coping? Like when they walk into a room where they are already plotting out, they are going to move soldiers to go and kill Igbos. Here is a story of a young man that suffered, not just him, what young people suffered under Umahi in Ebonyi State. What they suffered. Umahi is the former governor of Ebonyi State. By the time he was done, Ebonyi State is one of the poorest. In fact, it is the poorest in eastern Nigeria when it comes to human capital development. Education in Ebonyi. Well, maybe that would tell why he has something against this guy, Obi. Or some said it all started from when Atiku Abubakar jumped him in 2019 and picked Obi instead of him. And this was what Werewike said about him. So whatever it is between Umahi and Obi, why would you drag your own people into it? Dog whistle them. Because, like I said, those of them who were under Boko Haram, who witnessed the hatred, the state-sponsored profiling of the Igbos in Nigeria, especially under Boko Haram, those of them who were Igbos in the room, I hope one day they will come out and tell us how they were really treated. And yet, they kept on doing all they could to help Boko Haram murder many young Igbos and make some of them disappear. For the record, listen to this.
Hello viewers, hello ladies and gentlemen, hello the world at large. I am Rita Chinemerem Anyego. I am a lawyer attached in Abakaliki here. I'm practicing here in Abakaliki. Over time, I've seen things happen. Over time, I've had things happen. Over time, I've had cases about a lot of injustice. Innocent people detained for no reason. You know, the worst part of it all is that most people are detained because of campaign. Just yesterday and today, like 30 people are innocent people, not just people, but innocent people are detained for just campaigning for people they care about, campaigning for what they believe. Please release them. And I am tired of this injustice. In fact, literally the entire judiciary is wrapped around politicians. It's wrapped around our executive, which is David Umahi. For some reason, he has oppressed them. He has tortured them into believing that he's a god, into believing he's a tyrant, and that is why they don't think they can do anything about it. And now most of them can do nothing but just give an unjust ruling about things and still let it go. Please, if no one else can hear me or do something about this, I am calling on the entire multiverse to help us. Ebonyi people are crying for help. Ebonyi people are dying. Ebubago torture and kill someone just for political purposes. no crime committed. Actually, as I'm speaking to you, Chief Linus is in prison now with mocked up charges. Everybody knows he's mocked up charges, but because he thinks he's a political opponent, you decided, or for some reason, you decided to arrest him and detain him for no reason. They are now using judiciary against us. We are the poor citizens. We should be the judiciary is the last hope of common man. Where else do we think we can run to if not to the judiciary? Now judiciary has been politically subjected to weird things, to weird judgments. If you think you can appeal, where else do you appeal? To God, if not Supreme Court. To weird judgments. If you think you can appeal, where else do you appeal? To God, if not Supreme Court. But still, the same Supreme Court, they have proven to us that we have lost our trust in them. These are the only places we can go and find justice. Fundamental rights. You cannot apply for fundamental rights in Ebonyi State and get justice. This is a living witness. I have applied for fundamental rights on children of a retired police officer who were badly battered by police command of Ebonyi State. And guess what I got as a judgment? Tell them not to stand up again. They might be shot to death. A judge gave me this as a ruling in a fundamental suit. Ask any lawyer from Ebonyi State. They will tell you they don't fight for. You cannot file fundamental suits in a high court in Ebonyi State now. You know how it is. If you think you can get small justice, it's only in federal high court. We are tired. We need justice back. We need people to speak up for us. They are killing us. We are remaining but few. How then do we expect to train children in this conduciveness? Because that's what they think it is. We are not. It's not conducive for anyone. Kids are coming up. They expect us to grow. We are not growing. We are dying. Please, we need help. Tell David Umahi to debunk Ebubago. There is nothing like Ebubago. They are mostly touts, which I know a lot of them, which I was able to bail from prison. They don't know the law. Why then arm them? And untrained sets of criminals, untrained sets of people, you arm them to be law enforcement agents. What law are you enforcing when you barely know the law? And now, they even went to the extent of making our former government house a tortured zone. Government house, right opposite the High Court. The other day, I saw police officers standing right opposite our High Court, searching children, telling them to bring out their phones in front of courts. These are crimes that ordinarily children had in myth, which happened during slavery. They right opposite our High Court, searching children, telling them to bring out their phones in front of courts. These are crimes that ordinarily children had in myth, which happened during slavery. These are our constant order of the day. These are things we feel. I am agitated because I'm tired. I'm a youth. I'm obedient. And I'm tired of this situation. And this is why I need change. I need change. And this change starts with the ability to choose. So please, let's choose. Let's choose. Let us choose. Then on the point of choosing, we will know which one we decided to choose for. You cannot impose APC on us. You cannot insist that Nwifuru becomes the next governor. We have people who have bought our belief, who have made us feel comfortable, who have made us feel that there is still someone out there who can help us. And we are ready. We are ready at any point in time. We are ready to do what it takes for a professor who knows our plight to become the next governor. Do what it takes. Sir David Umahi, you don't know what I go through. You seized my entitlement for law school. These are things you don't know me, but you have killed me. To a great extent, you have dealt with me. And I will go to any length for you to see what you have done to me. And this is it. I'm ready to choose now. And you can't force Nwifuru on me. Nwifuru is my junior in every way. He's my junior. And he should come with his results. I come with my result. Let's do it openly. It's a face-to-face combat. I challenge you. You think you have what it takes? Bring out your next contestant. I bring out my next contestant. You have upheld Nwifuru. At every point in time, I uphold Professor Bernard Odu. because he is much more of a man than all of you put together. If you think you're a man, do it properly. Don't come oppressing us from choosing. Compelling us to vote for your candidate would not make the cut. Make changes.
This was one of the videos of the cries for help, the cry for help from some of the young people in Ebonyi. They were using the Bubiagu to hunt down young Igbos, especially in Ebonyi State, under that devil. And they were accusing them of being, IPOB, ESN, and they were killing them, innocent people, children, like he just mentioned. All because he wanted to have a seat at the table. The seat which earned him ministerial slots. Why would you even want to bring your people into this? I keep asking that. This young man has something to say. I want you to listen.
Caesar, I'm extremely disappointed at David Umahi. Those are the kinds of statements I don't expect to hear from a senior government official. And, he's a man I tend to respect, because he's a hard-working individual. And, he knows his onions when it comes to engineering and Ministry of Works and roads constructions and things like that. So I have a lot of respect for him. But particularly I felt offended by that statement, because I've said it on this program severally. I detest the dog whistling of an entire ethnic group in Nigeria. And let's call a spade what it is. It's becoming one too many that we want to consistently and continuously scapegoat the Igbo ethnic tribe in Nigeria, and it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable because there is a history of violence targeted at that group since 1953 in our country. Listen, Caesar, a meeting was held in Lagos, not necessarily a meeting, in Parliament. Anthony Nahoro moved a motion for the independence of Nigeria. The North opposed that motion, and at the train station, when they were going back to their constituency, they met a crowd that was essentially mocking them. They got back to the North. Chief Akintola led a tour across the North, to campaign essentially for the independence, to rally the North in support of Nigerian independence. Guess what happened after that? Riots broke out in northern parts of Nigeria, particularly in Kano, where over 240 Igbos were massacred. Were they the ones that demanded for Nigeria to have an independence at that time? In 1966, particularly in May, months before the Civil War happened, thousands of them were massacred across northern cities, and they had to flee to the east for safety because thousands of them were indiscriminately killed for what they knew nothing about, right? So let's not even talk about the Civil War and the hundreds of thousands that were massacred, and the fact that after 1970, this entire ethnic group had to start from the scratch again to begin to build their lives. And Caesar, look at what they have done since 1970. A group that left or started from nothing, went to Bauchi, went to Kano, went to Meduguri, went to Akure, went to Ogun State. And look what they have built in 40 years of hard work, grit, and no support from the federal government. Look what they have done from themselves. But what we consistently and continuously do is to signal hatred and violence against the group. And this thing has to stop. We can't continue a country. Listen, if you don't want a group of people to be a part, let them go then. I don't understand this. Every turn, there has to be an excuse to single out an ethnic group. I give you a typical example. Just like the past elections, I heard people telling, how can the Obi, for instance, have scored 98% in certain states to the north? How can he have scored 90%? Muhammadu Buhari, under a PDP-led federal government, scored over 90% votes in 4 northern states. Go and check the results in Katsina. Go and check the results in Bauchi. Go and check the results in Jigawa. He scored over 90% in those states under the leadership of the PDP as the federal government. So it was okay for Buhari to score over 90% in his own core constituency, but something utterly went wrong when Obi did it in the southeast. This ethnic group have always been part of a nationalist political party and never really have ever built a regional movement. All the times they have supported a political party have been national political parties right from the NCNC.
Yeah, true.
They have a stakeholder in the PDP. They don't have a regional party in the sense that we had ACN in the southwest, in the sense that they had AMPP in the north. They did not have the behemoth of a regional political party. So where is all this hate coming from? Where is all this hate coming from? They tell you now, for instance, that they have a rabid mob who are harassing people on the internet because their candidate lost. We have very short memories. In 2011, a candidate lost in this country and over 800 people were massacred in violence in the north. I so know this because I personally saved 11 core members and were hidden in my father's hotel in Kano. So what are we saying? 800 people were massacred because of the ambition of somebody in this country. And suddenly we are losing our minds because we are saying people are insulting you online and they're a rabid mob. Let us stop this. Let us stop this ethnic dog whistling. Let us stop this ethnic baiting. And this thing should not continue. We are one people, one country. Caesar.
Don't say that one. We are not one people, one country. So you will say the last one, but you've spoken so well. You heard him. Historically, I have told you this before as well. Okay? Whenever the ruiners, the criminals in charge of Nigeria, whenever they look for who to blame for their failure, for their own incompetence and corruption, just blame the Igbo. How many of you remember that? That it is like an unwritten code in Nigeria. How many of you remember that? That is Igbo profiling. And I was saying that, I told you that I said, saying it is not because Igbos need anybody's pity. It is just to open the eye of so many of you of what it is to have a systemic Cold War in your country against an ethnic nationality. In this instance, the Igbos. So they don't need our pity. One thing you should remember is this. Those who chose to go for the Igbos, they will come for every one of you, because it is not just the Igbos they are coming for. They just make the Igbos like a national project, unwritten code. If you have no idea what is wrong with Nigeria, just blame the Igbo. It's so easy. But when you ask them, majority of them, to tell you why they so much have this generational hatred towards the Igbos, they will have no real thing to say other than their people. Their people are always, and when you ask some of them, how many Igbos have you really encountered, have one-on-one relationship with in your life? Probably none. But they have been conditioned to be like that. Among the people that destroyed Nigeria, the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Fulanis, the Igbos, the rest of all those ones who have had a shot at the government of Nigeria, nobody is even asking them to build bridges. Only the Igbos are told to build bridges. Bridges with who? Okorocha built bridges, became Julius Baja. Last, he even spoke Arabic. It all came back to nothing. Because from those of you who know the history of Nigeria now, especially those of you who have followed the history on this platform, you shouldn't be so surprised when they came for the communists. I look away because I'm not a communist. They came for the socialists. Well, I'm not a socialist, so I looked away. And they came for the Jews. Oh, fair enough, I'm not a Jew. I watched them kill them. So I'm spared. Then they came for the Christians. So, well, thank God I'm not a Christian. Then they came for the Muslims. So fair enough, I'm not a Muslim. So I'm spared. Then they came for the atheists. So, well, I'm not atheist, so I'm spared. Then they came for me. And there was nobody to speak for me. And that is why I kept saying it on this platform. Do not inherit any of their enemies. Do not get drowned into get drowned in their war. Because if you look at everything from day one that is wrong with that contraption, it has always been the politicians and the politics. The politics of Azikiwe, Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, and the British, you all have heard the story. All of that led us to this one. And out of 63 years of Nigeria independence, the northern Nigeria has ruled for 47 years of that. Well, the southern Nigeria, I've had about 16 years too. When I say southern Nigeria minus the Igbos. But guess what? For all of the northerners who destroyed Nigeria and the southerners who also helped them destroy Nigeria for that 63 years, it is only the Igbos that need to build bridges. Yet they want to leave. A lot of you have forgotten that you actually had to fight war, commit genocide to force them to remain in Nigeria. As well as all the politics that followed, the partitioning of Eastern Nigeria, the political creation of a place called the South-South, and the never-ending, well-planted ethnic division, brothers versus brothers, from the old Eastern region. And why we are where we are. You fought war. You committed genocide to keep them in Nigeria. They were living. Nigeria was not fighting to keep the South people. They were fighting to keep the entire place. That's what they did. The men that committed all of this came back together. For those who survived, they were together in their old age. They even grew old. Ojukwu grew very old before he died. Awolowo was very old before he died. Gowon is currently shaking and vibrating because he's also very old. Nigeria failed to acknowledge this genocide. Those who committed the genocide were rewarded. Some of them became president afterward. So they said, no winner, no vanquish. And the wound was partially covered, but never healed. Umahi. Umahi is probably a teenager when that war of attrition broke out. He is not just a child of history. He actually lived through history himself. But for his own political selfishness, he decided to be the one to use the political comments of people like him. Obi is like him because Obi is also a politician inside Nigeria, to throw your entire tribe under the bus. That is very low. Even for Umahi. I'm not surprised. I will be surprised if those of you who are really educated, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, or what have you, are also very much invested in this. Since somehow, it could be appealing to your bigotry. Now that everybody is actually living a lie in that country, okay, where the government is sponsoring the media or sponsoring people on social media to go tell the people that This one is sad, though. But make I show you something. The government that is telling you that they want to generate employment, attract investors, have chosen to start a scam, a fraud called the Coastal Highway that they have no real plan of building. I have said this and I will remind you, whether it's going to be another 4 years or another 10 years, I will be here to remind you. They have no plan of constructing anything. It is a pure land grab using the federal might. But before I show you this, right? Before I show you this, I want you to listen to this. Somebody actually told Umahi at the meeting where he organized to make himself feel better, but decided to now turn it into a tribal or ethnic dog whistle. They don't even get any land to claim because they sure that they said they have a map, according to this man, is long gone. Watch this.
Already. And where you are calling Coastal Way, you are not in Coastal Way. You can check it on your system. Where you are putting your alignment now is on top of the sea of Okuaja. It's not what you are looking for. If you are looking for your Coastal Way, it's inside the ocean already.
Yes.
When we are calling by more than 30 years now for the federal government to come and claim the land for us, the coastal. You people did not come to do that.
Yes.
Now our own community, you want to be claiming it is the ocean moved there. Yes. The ocean is there. If you want to do, if you want to claim anything ocean, it's inside the ocean already.
Yes. This guy, you correct.
Our own community, you will claim it is the ocean. It's not your own.
They put up a show to make it look like the landmark guy was trying to blackmail them. The purpose is to grab the land, and they have successfully grabbed that. Okay, and it won't be the first time. The people of Etiosa local government, do you remember that land that Thiefnubu took from you in year 2000? That was meant to be used for a general hospital in Etiosa. I don't know how many hectares of land, but it was really massive. You remember that? I mean, do you remember? Now, by the end of 2005, Thiefnubu did not erect a single structure, even a security post on the land. The next thing the people of Etiosa will see was that a bank was selling the land. I mean, some of you, if you are in Lagos in 2006, 2007, Isaleko, Barack Obama, Ajangbadi, Albert Einstein, Fashola, was he actually shared the experience on one of the TV program I watched way back then. Okay, but I witnessed the event too. Because what happened? Before they knew it, they said Lagos State government used the land as a collateral to take loan from bank. So now, since Lagos State is not paying, so the bank has been given the go-ahead to sell the land. Sell which land? Sell our land. How? Today, one of Thiefnubu's associates has built a golf course on that land now. And the rest of the land is now, what is it called again? They've built an estate there, owned by Thiefnubu. Of course, through proxy, you know. So grabbing land is their usual way. And that is why it is so unfortunate that the same criminals decided to make it all about landmark. You see that guy that spoke there? They called them to come and collect money, you know, compensation money. And they rejected it. So it's not only landmark. There are some communities along the route as well, where the ocean has claimed like hundreds, if not thousands of hectares of land that is already in the ocean in what they call the climate change Makes sense, right? At least it makes sense. So the guy told Umahi, listen, keep your check. We don't want your money. You can't take any land from our place. We know you are going to try, but anyway, we'll see. Because if you are looking for your land is inside the ocean. Go and check your map. We have lost land too to the ocean. So you need to go, if you want to build your road there, you have to go and build it inside the ocean there. Or better still, start claiming the land from the bank there, not ours. If you hear that they started kidnapping contractors or started shooting people and you started hearing crisis, it won't be a surprise. In 2007 governorship campaign, when Thiefnubu took Fashola to that same part of Lagos State, you know what the people did? Despite the fact that he's their governor, when they entered them, it's only because the car that they were in, Thiefnubu and Fashola, it was a bulletproof car. If not, now the money left for don't kill Fashola. He shared the story. It's a true story. According to him, they were there and the whole while started, but Thiefnubu was sitting, he was the governor, so Fashola was going to succeed him, so they were campaigning. And he said, while the security guys were trying to clear those people away, one guy just crawled and just came to the side of the car. And he just pulled out a gun. And next to the, to the back seat. And the bullet bounced and the gun in his hand kind of like flung away and the guy started running, like ran away. But Fashola, who was there, who witnessed it, like somebody pointing gun at you like that. Was like, it said it was shaking. You know what it means? Like when you are like, oh my God, that could have been me, I could have died. Why the druggie, Kolu, according to Fashola, Kolu was there like, don't worry, all right. Like he wasn't bothered. He was unbothered. Fair enough, the car was a bulletproof car. That was how angry the people of that local government area were at the level of the land grabbing of Thiefnubu. So yeah, it's not just about landmark. So now they have decided to send out, what do you call it? Decided to send out their troll out, okay? Take a look at this. The guy who owns the landmark is an Igbo guy, okay? And for some reason, we know, I have told a lot of you that whenever you see them talk or blow the dog whistle on social media, that a lot of you unconsciously takes their bait. Have you read all of that? See all these horrible things coming from these guys. These are the fake accounts on social media, okay, that are paid. They call it gig. So the guy was out to say, well, guys, we have reached an agreement, okay? So we will no longer have the beach, but we still have the hotel. So if you want to come, if you want to, because according to them, they say it's a club, sort of a resort, okay? So you have to be a member. And as a member, you pay for different kinds of services. And there have been those who have kind of paid for their membership for the rest of the year. So the guy now posted online and said, well, under the current situation and all that, we are giving you the option of converting the balance in your account, use them for something else within our service, also within our establishment, or we can refund you the balance of your membership and all that if you want to pull out. That was what the guy posted there. And they started attacking it. So what now makes sense is that I remember when they said they would do everything to destroy the Igbos and the Igbo businesses in Lagos. And some of you felt like it was just a free talk. It wasn't a free talk. Somebody did actually say something back then. And that person is this guy. I don't know if we should believe him or not, but I actually want to believe him. Bakar once said this about the plan to go after the Igbos. Watch.
I was at a meeting a few days back last week, and they said, the Igbos, we must find a way of checkmating them. I sat there in the midst of them, and the man said, you are not even saying anything. I said, what is the offense? He said, they are bought everywhere in Lagos. They are buying and buying. And I said, when they came with gun and shot your people, or your people collected money for the purchase. Baba looked at me and said, why are you like this? I said, I'm like that. Did your people sell to them? Or they brought gun and said, your land or your life? Why don't you learn their industry? Who asked you to sell your land? That was the end of the meeting. If you are going to invite me into a meeting where we are going to move the nation forward, don't pitch one tribe or ethnic nation against the other. It's not going to work for those of us who believe that the best of the North and the best of the South must come together to steer the shape of our nation. Do you understand me? Okay.
So you can call it a sleep, but don't act so naive or ignorant and pretend that you have no knowledge of all of this in the scheme of things in Nigeria. And then I'll probably see your level of intelligence. So I'll probably be very careful around you. Tell me you are not aware of any of these. And then they turn around and they say, oh, the Igbos like to claim victims. And you are pushing bigotry against yourselves. Supposedly, one country. Over $200 million worth of a business, and all of the businesses are going down, destroyed, for a coastal road to nowhere. And then the next thing, the government had to pay people to go and promote this Igbo, that. They must leave Lagos. Their drink is expensive. People will be say, I never shop. Some of them are never shop. Hungry, unemployed, to. But they are giving them gig. And it can't be like saying a cost, all of them. See the first one. That one, you see that one called Eniola, 15. From what I heard, she lives in the US. Some of you will be so surprised that some people who are actually the real bigots promoting ethnic hatred, especially for Thiefnubu, some of them, they are not living in Nigeria. That's what makes it even worse. Imagine you living in America with everything you have seen in America, and you want to practice your own racism. You decided to go and practice that and use your supposed fellow countrymen. Criticizing Thiefnubu, you want to turn that to, if I criticize Thiefnubu, that means I hate Yorubas. And then the agenda of destroying the Igbos and their economy and all of that is something that will sit well with you, and you are living abroad. Eh? So, like I said, this Eniola, they say she lives in the US. I don't know if that's a picture too, but by now you will be in jail. That's why he said to that landmark guy, you are whipping up sentiment from people against your government for a legacy project that will open doors for millions of citizens. How can a bridge open door for millions? Does that even make any sense? Eh? And then you can shut down what is already earning you millions in taxes, Abi. You see the second one? They call it a gig. They pay them to do this. And they are everywhere. Social media, WhatsApp, everywhere, to promote this Igbo versus Yoruba, or this eightful rhetorics. Go back to Anambra. Go back to your this or that. See this one. Oh. I am not even sorry for landmark one bit. You pay gate fee for beach you're supposed to access for free. Meanwhile, there is no single free beach in the entire Lagos. And this landmark is not the only beach in Lagos. Oniru Beach that is next to it is similar. They know that. But an Igbo man's business, how can an Igbo man own this kind of thing in Yoruba land? Those who said generation can never possibly, the generations of the wretched, decided to turn this into Igbo versus Yoruba. Do you see all the campaigns there? All this vileness. Because an Igbo man says he won't be president. Just like a Fulani man says he wants to be president and a Yoruba man says he wants to be president. I said something about that, Eniola. Let's bold in a picture in case if she's your neighbor in the US. Remember when the Lagos state government said they would spend about 85 million or something to bury the NSAS unclaimed bodies? Do you remember that? After denying that nobody died, then the Lagos state government was to spend 85 million naira to bury 116 NSAS bodies, unclaimed bodies. Do you remember that? See the reaction of somebody, all for what? Like, I'm a Yoruba man. You are an Igbo man or woman. I don't know you. I haven't met you. You haven't met me. How convenient for people to hate people they have never met. Or how sad will somebody's life be to hate an entire tribe all because of politics? Now listen, these guys with their propaganda did so well to make NSAS as if, like I told you, anything that happens in Nigeria, if you don't understand it, just blame the Igbos. This Thiefnubu and their dangerous politics, the politics of tribal, jingoism, bigotry, hatred, and violence. It's so dangerous that it is not just it's not just against the Igbos, it is even against the Yorubas too. They turned the propaganda of NSAS to Igbos coming to burn down Lagos. They continue to push it. The NSAS was the Igbos' plan to destroy Lagos, despite the fact that there were those who sponsored the criminals, the thugs. Everything is on video, on camera. They sponsored thugs to attack peaceful protesters. They started burning properties, create violence. But this Olori Buruku Abobaku of Lagos, some of them are not even from Lagos. They are from all this Okoko Ekiti, Okoko Iragbiji. And from there, they are sending this hatred. Like, what kind of human being would you be that you'll be able to harbor in so much hatred towards people that you have never had any encounter with in your life? She research, I'm trying. So they denied that nobody died at Lekki toll gates and across Lagos for the NSAS. Then, 2 years after, they decided to bury the bodies of the dead people or the corpse of those who died during NSAS. And it will cost them 85 million naira. So it became news. Guess what this Eniola or Soeni, what she said? So that you can see what social conditioning, hate can do to someone, because I'm still trying to process it. Now, here, he said, Lagos state government acted so naive. You played into their hands again. Mass burial is what they want to hear. Why not donate the corpse to medical students as cadaver? All these official channels memo will land you in a diplomatic maze. Somebody with the America, according to people, a woman, a young woman with this so much hate, all because of politics. They see the one that wrote after exactly what they should have done, what lawsuit medical students should have used. No one will be making noise now, and it would have been, it would have been cost effective. 6-something million naira. They denied killing these young people during the October 20, 2020 NSAS protest. They denied. For somebody this young, right. Let's go to the next thing. Talking about the same Lagos. A very shocking news hit the news wave yesterday when the Environmental Task Force discovered that somebody, Kokole Korale, Ongbuwole, that's what we call people who are like landlords, but they probably became landlords by inheritance. Okay? So we call them Kokole Korale, Ongbuwole. He no build house, he no buy land, but he's collecting rent. That's exactly what this story I'm about to show you is like. Because somebody was able to build, apartments, compartmentalize the public bridge to over 86 rooms under the bridge. And people were paying 250,000 naira per annum. How is that even possible? Are the people so poor that they choose to go and live under the bridge? Of course, I know people live under the bridge, but I just thought people who have, who have mental health problem. Lunatics are mostly, you see. I say, well, some people who are going through hard life also have been found under the bridge, but I have never seen anybody live under the bridge and say, where are you living? Can you give me your address? They were raising kids there, children. Some of them were surprised that they were coming to knock out, to knock off all their structure. Like, we have heard about shanties, right? This one is so different, right? But they build apartments. See, landlord is coming there to collect rents. And I have no idea how long. But before they will say, people who are stranded are seen under the bridge. You need to see families. The one that broke my heart, they say, there are Yorubas there too. Now, if you hear people from your side, I don't know how you're going to feel. Normally, I'm supposed to really feel general, like it's this, but personally, right, it's something I'm like, but this one will be Libya. Yoruba land, they supposed mega shitty. What exactly is the benefit we are deriving from Nigeria as Yorubas in Yoruba land, inside Nigeria? What exactly is that benefit being Yoruba in this contraption? What? I'll let you see this first, and then the next one.
Bangwe? You rent house here?
From who?
From Opo. From Opo.
How much are you paying?
I paid 150.
Huh?
150.
For what?
For a room.
For a room? For a year or for how many months?
Yeah, for a year.
That Mopo is a military man, or they just give him Mopo?
When I got here, when they referred me here, I had people here calling him with the name.
Which name?
Mopo, that Mopo.
Is he a uniform man, the guy?
He's not.
No, I'm not sure.
That just
Because
a
I
big
haven't
name.
seen him.
You, where do you work?
Now here you dey live, madam. When have you been living here? Since last year. Yeah. Now here you born this your baby. Where? Okay. This is where you two are staying. Eh? This is where you are living.
Your brother. Which one of your brother is doing?
He's an agent.
Agent.
Hey, this is where you are living, madam. This is where you are living. Eh? Is this where you are living? Eh?
Sorry. Come outside.
Wà lábẹ́ ọ̀run o. Ṣé bí ni wọ́n náà ń gbé?
I'm not showing you my ID card. You are living here, Abi? Are you living here? Yes. What are you doing here?
I stay here. This only weekend I go. Now don't here they serve.
So is it the place you are supposed to rent?
This is where I hide myself. I did not even rent house.
You don't rent house?
This container that is here.
It's embarrassment.
It's not an embarrassment. I have my house that I built myself.
Why can't you go there?
But I can't go.
Like, why would you even pay money to go and live under? See, as bad as Lagos is, right? If you have 250,000 naira, you can still actually get a room. Paranormal in Shomolu, Bariga, Ajegunle areas. You think I'm calling bad areas? No, they are not bad because nowhere is really good in that mega slum. So stop deceiving yourselves, okay? Because for those of you who are pretty much feeling like you are living a posh life, Ikoyi life, we all know Ikoyi life, okay? And it is a life of, it is so fake that a lot of you actually have to tell yourself that you are rich before you can remember that you are rich, because everywhere around you, you can smell the slum. Come on, don't pretend. Even with your tinted glasses, the road will tell you where you are. So all that thing about, share you get hair. Where is the slum, right? Why would you pay 250,000 naira per annum to live under the bridge? And that man that said, I have my own house I built. I only come here once. I don't even live here. Like, calm down. Now there you they live. So if you are facing rough or hardship or whatever, like, it doesn't even make any sense. It shouldn't even have existed more than just one single day if you are really have a government. But right now, the task force of Lagos, right? They want to stop me from calling Lagos a mega slum. So yeah, this is good. Even though this is just for the camera, because they will find somewhere else under the bridge to occupy again. And that may take another 10 years before somebody will feel like, I want to show walking. Let's go out. Here is another discovery. This one is for today. Under the bridge. Did you see those goats? Oh, it just reminded me of my old goats. Because when my great grandma was still here, right? So we used to have goats, domestic goats, male and female. We were raising. We had names for them. Igbenyi Tanimola, Mutajero. Igbenyi that one is like the end will be sweet. All right. So we had a goat like that called Igbenyi. So we had Tanimola. Nobody who knows tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. That one is now say Tanimola Oloriburuku Bobe Udirelo. That was my Yemi. Yemi will be calling our goats. So when I saw those two goats under that bridge, I was like, oh, so beautiful, but not in a beautiful place. People live under the bridge, and yeah, this is 2024, and many more are going to end up under that bridge as well. There is no safety net for anybody in that contraption. Everybody is just an awaiting victim, right? And it's unfortunate that, imagine some of those who are telling you that Igbo man will never be president of Nigeria is texting you under those places. They are living under the bridges. I told you, if you see some of them face to face in real life, you will beat yourself. for daring to engage with them on social media. You will. But before we continue, let's quickly have a stop by. Showore was in court today. Do you know why? Well, Showore returned back to Nigeria yesterday. I didn't even know he had a court case today anyway. So yeah, that's him honoring his court appearance because Nedunwoko. What's that his wife? That is wife's name again. Benita. Anyway, you know Ned, the guy that is promoting, or sorry, who is promoting a bill that will allow all of us to carry gun and defend ourselves. Ned. Well, Ned has been involved in land grabbing and has been reported. He's a land thief, using his influence, using his power, okay, to steal people's land in Delta. He's a very powerful guy and also popular. So he wanted those people to keep short. So he got them arrested. He's arrested king. Yeah, he has arrested village head, all because of land. And I think that was when Sahara reporters now reported the story. Ned became upset. He sued Showore for defamation. And Showore was like, okay, fine. Unfortunately, since the case started, Ned has not been showing up. And I think that was what prompted Showore's reaction inside the courtroom this morning. I'll show you.
Sent a DHL to our up to Sahara Reporters office in the US to ask for a retraction of the story. How can they now deny that they don't know Sahara Reporters existed? Sahara Reporters, we presented a document before you, my lord, that of the registered certificate of Sahara Reporters in the US. My lord, you do not just create the case of Venus here. Does the EFCC know the location of Venus and the guy you are prosecuting in this court? No, but are they not mentioned in the trial? Of course, yes. Are you trying Venus? Of course, no.
This guy is pressing my butt now.
The EFCC did not bring Venus here. They brought a representative of the Venus that they arrested. If they wanted to try Venus in front of you, you would have requested that a hearing service and a hearing notice be given to Venus. You have a similar case here. Is it because we are Nigerians and come and abuse us? I set up a company, there's no lie about it. And the company wants to do that independently of me. I know they hate me because I expose corruption. But my lord, don't allow justice to be insulted in your cause. If you want proper trial, you deserve.
Go and get visa, go to America, serve them.
Is that not procedural that you give hearing notice to someone who's going to appear before you for a similar trial? And Sahara Reporters can then appoint. And I'm telling you, my lord, they have a management of which I am no longer part. I told you this. I told you that when I the person.
You should not be suing Showore. You should sue Sahara Reporters. And Sahara Reporters is in New York, in the United States of America. So suing Showore is just a Nigerian court for Sahara Reporters reports. Is an abuse of court process. That was why Showore turned to a lawyer there. Maybe from his counsel. DG. Who was there too. Hang on, oh. There's something I'm trying to figure out, right? Remember that Cubana chief priest? I can't remember his real name now, but you know they call him Cubana chief priest, that guy. That got, arraigned for devaluing Naira. You remember him? Right. So the guy has now, he pleaded not guilty. So the guy and the EFCC right now, they are settling out of court. Okay. So people started asking, who be Idris' lawyer? Now, who represented Idris? Now, who tell Idris, may Idris go say in guilty that they have to send Bobrisky? Like, did that person not tell us he risky? Kind of like people are asking. So because EFCC are settling now out of court with Cubana chief priest. Some are now saying, now Deji be Bobrisky lawyer. No, I don't think Deji is Bobrisky's lawyer. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's what came to my head when I saw Deji next to Showore in this video, right? And it was there saying, I was like, hey, Are you sure this? Nobody said they advise Shoren. I'm like, no, it's not. But listen to this after when Nediwoko did not show. Like you said, it's an abuse of court process. So it's been like they have to adjourn and adjourn. Anyway, aftermath, you were outside the court. Just for your view.
Solution. Part of our appearance today is symbolic. It's symbolic in the sense that when they left themselves, so when they decided to charge their own stupid case of treason, I said I'm going to the US and I'll be back. A lot of people doubted I would be back. So I said I'm back and I'm back. Yes. But I will never leave Nigeria in the hands of criminals. This is a country which has 200 million people. And we made that clear to the judge that even though at the point have people telling our judges pay attention to serious issues. The Nigerian police are some terrible organizations. Anybody can pay police points to charge. This case is particularly very laughing that this super billionaire then went to something of police to go and say that I insulted him as our reporters. He was talking him. What they don't even know is that the cybercrime law has been amended and signed last month. So the section that affects me has to do with pornography. Am I pornography? That's so malabo. We are not even there yet. But that the police will, using their time for rubbish cases. Today we'll be going and try to bail out the guy in jail. So I will detain for 40 days by a religious leader somewhere in the east. And what the jailer said is on if you say that you are doing miracles, and you provide evidence of miracles, now went to police. And if you believe in God, why do you need police that is godless? You can't be charging people for God. Yes. So the point is that the reason I got involved with network was because he jailed Jaruma on Instagram. And I said you cannot jail Jaruma. I don't know that at that time I don't even know Jaruma who she is. But I work for human rights. And that's why we are with our brother. We keep saying congratulations to Deji because I just become a real lawyer.
Congratulations, advocate.
And I doubt that he has made a because he has been doing pro bono. It's really the word of today.
The money will come.
But we are glad that we need more people of conscience in the political profession as well. So our job is for enlightenment. Our job is to liberate the country. Yes. And liberating the country also means that we liberate the judicial system. Because our job in the justice system has become a joke. We spend over 2 hours in that court just arguing over service, improper service. This ought not to happen in serious judicial crimes. This case should not have come to the Federal High Court. It should not have. At best, it's a civil case of a lifetime. And I have several of them. But he knows that he can't prove a libel against him. Because what did he say? He said that he wants to eradicate malaria. And he has the foundation raising millions of dollars over it. And my question was that if you are eradicating malaria, shouldn't you start in your house in Abuja? If you go to your Nediwoko's house in Abuja, is there no mosquito there? He said that was not what he was. That was not what he was said. That's what he told Jaruma. And now he's a senator. That also shows to you why the Nigerian Senate or the legislature is a joke. When people like that find themselves in there. And I'm not the only person. He has been jailing people for land reasons and all. So we motivate our country for most importantly, there's hunger in the land. Yes. There's starvation in the land. We don't have fuel. They have increased prices of everything. Yes. Food. And they have been saying that the dollar will go up. Sometimes we go down. Sometimes we go up. The truth is that the dollar cannot. The naira cannot fight with the dollar. You can't fight any currency. We are talking about dollar. The naira is weaker against the CFA. Sepa, yes, in the Republic, Togo, and the rest of this, it's weaker. So who is working on that one? And the problem with naira is that the Central Bank of Nigeria, who is in charge of our monetary policy, is also doing commercial banking. Is also doing NGO work. Is also doing foundation work. So what they do is that when the naira comes down like that, central bank officials buy in large quantity, and then they allow it to go back up again and sell. In 1 week, if you have $1 million and it's at 980, and you buy, in 1 week now that it's at 350, you have made 300 million naira. Why would they ever allow the naira to work? That is a simple economics. When you see some of those jokers on TV saying that they are economists, they are doing analysis, they don't know anything about economics. So, and the worst people when it comes to public interest is the Thiefnubu regime. They came here to make money. Yes. So what they did in Lagos is what they have now transported nationally to Abuja. You guys haven't seen anything yet. I'm telling you, you haven't seen it. The earlier you rise up, the earlier you wake up, the better for you, and the better for all of us. Revolution.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria.
It is unfair, unfortunately. Anyway, show is back there with you. I'm talking about the hardship. Here is a report from AIT. How much is a liter of petrol in Ekiti? I heard that it is 1,500. If you're watching me from Ekiti, can you confirm that? Because your shege is just about to kick off. It hasn't really started though. I mean, the reason why people keep saying this to you is just so you know that whatever you are going through right now, Baba, now warm up, Neo. But here is one report I want to share with you.
Residents of Ado Ekiti now have a new vocation, and it is to wake up early and join the queues anywhere premium motor spirit is being dispensed. They are concerned that the removal of fuel subsidy has not ended the years of scarcity of the product in the country. To them, buying a liter of premium motor spirit at 1,500 naira is a punishment to the common man and a betrayal of the trust they had in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
There should be a stop to all this nonsense and shenanigans. Now, there has been a lot of people here since yesterday. There is no fuel, and even if you want to buy the fuel, you have to pay extra money. They are collecting bribe. Now, when Thiefnubu said that he's going to remove the subsidy, everybody was happy and thinking that things are going to calm down. But look at what is happening right now, and they are busy buying cars.
We find ourselves in a situation where you have to spend hours on queue, and even eventually at the verge of getting the fuel, the filling stations will close and we shut down their services. So this is unfair. The government has not given us convincing reasons why we have to celebrate Workers' Day with scarcity of petroleum products.
Olu Olobele is the chairman of Petroleum Dealers Association in Ekiti State. He argues that the scarcity is caused by the non-availability of the product in private depots.
There's no petrol in the private depot. And NNPCA supplied all the private depot. They ration the product.
However, the chairman of the Petroleum Product Regulation and Consumer Protection Agency in Ekiti State, Odunayo Arinka, absolved marketers of ordering the products.
My appeal is to everybody to calm down, because we had an information yesterday that there's a vessel came in from the NFPC. So by tomorrow next, I think they will start bringing the payment.
Residents say the problem has been compounded by the resumption of schools across the state, as parents now find it difficult.
When I do a line by line, man 200, woman 250. You got it begin if na boy 250, if na get 300. Pregnant women 350. You wear cap tie where we got better attachment 400. You wear suit 450. You be copper 500. You get belay, you never marry 950. You were 115. You vote for Thiefnubu, how much? 75. 10,000.
Ekiti people, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀. Èmi ló kàn.
Tí ò bá sí àwa èmi tí ń dúró wájú yìí tí ń lérí ogun. Tí ní òkè Buhari nìṣó ká máa bá lọ. Kò lè di president. Ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀. Ó tiẹ̀ sọ́kọ́ lórí tẹlifíṣàn pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́. Mo dẹ̀ lọ bá ń Kaduna wà rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kún kọ́ lélẹ̀. Àdúró tiẹ̀ wàá dẹ̀ wọlé. Nǹkan kan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré. Ó dẹ̀ gbà.
Èmi ló kàn. Ẹni kàn ló mọ̀. From èmi ló kàn to ẹni kàn ló mọ̀. Now, everybody don't they collect, they will say. I think I got blackmail. One guy came to me and said, Mayegun, people did not expect that Thiefnubu is going to turn out this way. So don't blame them. I was like, okay, go on. Don't blame them. Instead of that, people should feel sorry for them. Because Mayegun, I don't understand. Are you now happy? Are you happy that people are going through this or that? Olori Buruku fe gaslighting me. What has my own feeling got to do with your choice? And don't try to let anybody gaslight you. Everybody knew what they were doing. Okay? Don't let anybody tell you, hey, but people didn't know now. At least, is you know that don't let anybody gaslight you. Everyone knows what they were doing. They will do it again and again. You understand what that means, If people there around you, they scream, they cry, they lament,
haka ne kawai da ka ga kudin mai baba ka sai da lokaci yake ba ko ka ga mun tunda wuri ka samu mai ka ce mun dubu shida wallahi sai ka wallahi sai ka biya shi kudin sa kawai dubu shida wallahi sai ka bani ka biya shi kawai ka'ida baba da iya ne ka baba dan Allah mama ka sai mashin din zuwa Allah ka shi ka sai mashin ka sai dan bai shi yaron da biyu ka da motar haya koma kawai wani wani ka sai duk Allah ka sai mashin din nan na ce ma ka saya don kai ya sa zuwa margalan ka saya nawa ka saya kai tambaye ku mai ce mu dubu shida ko ban ji wallahi Allah ya so mai baba ya shi kawai
ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan kéku. If they want to cry and die, let them cry and die. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. So don't come to me and tell me, are you happy? I mean, this shows that you, this Mayegun, you are just happy that people are suffering. Abogun fẹ́ pa ẹ́ dànù ni. Fẹ́ kógun sáré waste ẹ ni. You fẹ́ gaslight me. You want to gaslight me? You want try gaslight me, make I can't feel guilty. Say I know they feel empathy for you. Who will kill you there? Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up. Let's sing together. On your mandate.
On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
70 years old man. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Is that you?
Because we know, or should I say we knew that Nigeria had a problem. You can't blackmail us. by then saying our wish is the reason why you are, or the reason why these criminals are looting you. To Bafego Kusare for you left. Kusare the one-eyed man. Like that. So possible. It is possible. Don't ever look at us and think you can use any sort of, gaslighting and inciting and all of those stuff, or dog whistle as well, to sway us. I don't think it's going to work. There was a man who, after using his last cash to buy 2 liters of petrol, he busted into tears. That this has been his life. Like, it's not sure he's going to be able to survive. Which kind of life with this? Which kind of life with this? Thiefnubu will make you weep. And if you think spreading hate for Thiefnubu and his gang is in your own interest because you are Yoruba, wait until that catches up with you. Like Bakarun said, if your hate towards the Igbos, that you are hiding behind patriotism, you on patriotic animals, and you have no patriotism to anyone or anywhere, not to Nigeria. You bunch of scavengers spreading poverty, then blaming other people that you could possibly point your finger at. Like Bakaru said, the Igbos didn't put guns in your head and took your land. You actually sold them, and you're more later. Call yourself a monile. You are watching all these Arugun touts, selling whatever they can sell just for what? To buy cars, marry, or what? Then you turn around, hide on that Thiefnubu, pretending to be Yoruba, who love Yoruba land, and then decided that, oh, the Igbos have bought everywhere. Say something, sir.
You cannot sell your land to Igbos. You cannot sell your land. You cannot sell your houses to Igbo, and you are now accusing Igbo of taking over Lagos. Did Igbo force you to sell your lands? Did Igbo force you to sell your ancestral family homes? In Lagos Island, most of the houses in Lagos Island have been sold to the Igbos. So whose fault? Is it the Igbo fault or the seller's fault? If there's no seller, there won't be any buyer. If there's no seller, there won't be any buyer. So whose fault? Is it the fault of the buyer or the fault of the seller? Is it the fault of the seller or the fault of the buyer? And then you keep on coming with all these foolish arguments. And Igbos have bought Lagos State. They have bought all the land in Lagos. Who sold it to them? Did Igbo force you to sell your land? Did Igbo force you to sell your land? And then why this noise about Igbo? Go and look at the hectares of land that they gave to Dangote in Lekki. Is Dangote an Igbo man? Don't you know the number of the parcel of land that Tinubu gave to Dangote in Lekki? Is Dangote an Igbo guy? Go to Lekki free zone. Go and look at the biggest landlord, the Shaguris, the Vaswanis. The whole of Lekki free zone had been acquired and partitioned by Indians. I still don't know why we don't use our common sense in Yoruba land again. The whole of, quote me, 80% of the land in Lekki free zone had been acquired and partitioned by Indians and Lebanese. Shaguri family, Vaswani family, Gupta family. Those are the people that have the largest parcel of land in Lekki free zone. And then Dangote. So what are we talking about? These people are the Yoruba people. Tinubu sold all your land to foreigners. Foreigners. They are not even Nigerians. Igbo are still Nigerians. As far as we are concerned, we are still Nigerians. We are still in Nigeria. So Igbo are still Nigerians. So what? So Tinubu that have sold all the land in Lagos to Lebanese, Chinese. If you don't know, CCECC construction company is owned by the Chinese. Do you know how many lands they have in Lekki and Ikorodu? And Lagos State people refuse to use their common sense as they keep on following Thiefnubu sheepishly, like Mumu. Tọ́ba yẹ kó oògùn ló ṣe fún yín lẹ́yìn náà ìdẹ̀ ṣoògùn ẹgbàrá yín lẹ̀. Tọ́ba yẹ pé Thiefnubu ṣoògùn sí yín ṣe ṣoògùn náà ẹgbàrá yín lẹ̀. Tó ìyẹn mi ìtẹ̀fẹ́ máa gbọ́ pé fóògùn mú yín lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Tọ́ba fóògùn mú yín ẹ̀yin náà ẹ lọ ṣoògùn náà. Àbí wọ́n lẹ́yìn náà ò lọ sọ́dọ̀ babaláwo kẹ́ lọ ṣoògùn kẹ́ tó ra yín lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Thiefnubu.
Thank you so much, Lawyer Lekon. I think that's what is generally called, Lawyer Lekon. You see all this Igbo hate, Igbophobia, coming from Thiefnubu, who are posing as Yorubas. Those ones who are making you, to polish your own bigotry, the one you love to say about the Yorubas. They don't abuse Igbos. Today, not today. I go show these Yoruba people today. You, this Yoruba, because of Thiefnubu's, what do you call them? I want more jati. It is all politics, political. Can't you see? Yet, the Lebanese to the Thiefnubus, the Lebanese, the Chinese, the Indians, and all of these guys, they are more Yoruba than even Yorubas in Yoruba land. Talk less of being more Nigerian than the supposed Nigerians. But you go to bed, you wake up, and you are walking about with your bigotry that they have already programmed you to keep repeating. The same bigotry that has also kept you not only divided, but impoverished. It's not helping you. They are not redistributing the wealth. The wealth is within themselves. They are only democratizing the poverty. And then you turn yourself to what? Ethnic champion. But there is no empowerment for you except the crumbs. You have no land to your name. You have no real thing to your name except the crumbs that they will give to you. And you think you are doing anyone but yourself. I'm not sorry for you. I just want you to know that as they are making you believe that the Igbos who are buying their land, in, especially in Yoruba land and across Nigeria, legitimately, and they want you to hate on them because someone somewhere politically believes that they are a threat. Because if by any means the Igbos should take over power in Nigeria, they will deal with the rest of us. And you believe them. People where they deal with all of us. Me, I know be Igbo. I they face part of this suffering. I'm facing part of this shege from my birth. But they tell you, don't make mistake. Oh. If you make mistake, and you make Igbo the president of Nigeria and they take over power, hey, they will show us. So you know what we have done to them? They will do this to us. So, but to us, they are saying it's not you. They are talking about themselves. They are talking about their circle and how much hold they have on Nigeria. So you are now helping them to spread the fear too. They told us that if the Igbos come in, they will suffer also. They say if the Igbos will do this or that, but you are suffering already. You are even dying. And yet you can't see the lie. That those who are trying to make you hate yourselves don't even love you, even though you share the same ancestral whatever with them. See Yoruba land. And tell yourselves that these guys actually love Yoruba land. Love you. That they told you to hate others because they hate you. They are spending a lot. Oh. My own is just like a drop in the ocean, right? This one with me, they do all of you day here with me. How many are we? 2,500, right? On all platforms, which is good. We are still so small compared to the resources these guys are spending to continue to spread this hateful rhetoric. And they will turn to you and say, you are the one. You don't like us because you are Yoruba. You hate Yoruba. I say, how? I just said something about Thiefnubu. How can I say something about Thiefnubu, who is currently using the resources that is meant for the Igbos, the Yorubas, and all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria by design as a country is owned by all of us, Abi? So an Igbo man can say Thiefnubu is this or that. That doesn't make him somebody you can easily turn to hating Yoruba. And they are doing that on purpose, in case if some of you don't know. If you say something about Thiefnubu, they will quickly attack you and say it's because you hate Yoruba. Not because they don't know that you don't hate Yoruba. It's because they have to say that. That is the only way somebody like Thiefnubu can spend a day in power or spend the next day in power. When people begin to continue to accuse you, if you see anything, oh, it's because you hate Yoruba, not because Thiefnubu is a disaster. And if you're a Yoruba who is saying something, say, why are the Yorubas like this? We know that Thiefnubu is bad. When you say Yoruba, we are supposed to defend our own. Have you seen the Northerners? Have you seen during Bokwari? Did you see the North? Criticizing him. Now we the Yorubas, now our own, they too much. That is one Olori Brook who is probably living in a shanty, in a slum, who has been made to believe that good or bad, worse of what have you they are going through, as long as it's the man from their tribe, they can't say anything. Then they will try to force that on you. Everybody is suffering it too, but they say, let's suffer it and pray. Let us pray for him to do well. It's a Yoruba. If they remove him now, hey, the power is going back to the north. So Yoruba don't know. Now you have the power. Yet your lives have become even worse. So talking about Thiefnubu is not talking against Yoruba. So we must continue to say that when you come across all this kind of a vile rhetorics, you should be wiser and better. Don't join them and begin to, and say, it's true, my brother. God bless you, Jare, my brother. Yorubas don't think. We know that Thiefnubu is a failure, but it's a Yoruba man. It's a Yoruba man. We're supposed to stand behind him, and no, we are not supposed to. And that's what you have to tell your children, okay? So that maybe we can break this circle. I will stop here. And I promise to make it up to us, okay? We didn't start early, but I want to make sure that if you are interested in being part of this tonight, listen, we currently have on YouTube, right? We currently have, let me check. So we have over, 2,000 of us on YouTube, and only 700 of you have paid their own offering. Worshippers of my brother, as well as said that a YouTube user for your super chat, right? Thank you. Well, please take a moment and like the broadcast. I'm going to go on a break. So when I get back, when I come back, I will take calls. And that should be you. On the other end. Don't go anywhere yet.
I will not allow you to. Help me, 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 help me. If they carry me, they go, we are not know. Help me, help me,
Help me, help me, help me. I have something to say. Mind you, I have a caller already. But I have something to say. And I want you to back me, okay? The members of the temple, all right? So the Yoruba Union Summit is going to take place in Glasgow, all right? From the 23rd of August to the 25th of August here in Glasgow. So we are going to make available about 100 tickets to attend. Currently, we are discussing about how much do you think is going to be ideal to take care of 100 people or take care of an individual each for a summit, and then, take care of them for 3 days. So we are working on that. So now somebody now said, if we decided that the summit is going to booking to be part of it in August, let's say it's going to cost you 100 pounds sterling. So one of the ESCOs now said, London, UK people will never pay that money because 100 pounds is, I said, okay, we will surprise some of you when the tickets will be gone. Before all of you in America, we probably will get 1 or 2. I'm just saying. So somebody has challenged us, and I'm going to put every of my efforts into it once the finality is concluded, and then an announcement is made. Okay, and all of us are able to go and pick up our tickets and all of that stuff to be part of it. So if you are coming to join us from any part of Europe for the Yoruba Union Summit, right, you better start saving the money now. It's going to happen in August. Your tickets, your hotel, all that stuff, So I have put that up as a challenge. So I just said I should mention it. So all of them are here, the Templars and the Unionists watching me. Now here comes my first caller tonight.
My
Hello
king.
there.
My king, this is Adebayo from Sweden.
Hey, the Prince Adebayo from Sweden. About how are you tonight?
I'm good. You are the king of every. Nobody can contest it.
It is non-contestable, right?
It's not contestable. Baba, there's something that surprised me to do.
Tell us.
You have always been telling us that don't go against the obedience, because anything that is going to fight against this system, you will give them more wings.
We will add our voice to them. Exactly.
Exactly. Baba, you see how all the bad roads are now coming out?
All the videos about the bad shocked me. I'll tell you that one. Thank God you mentioned it too, Prince, right? When it shocked me, be say, yesterday, when Umahi, because I know Umahi, and I know the hyping and all the lies he told in Ebonyi. But for some reason, right, I wasn't really on to him. So when he now made that statement yesterday, I was like, okay, hang on. He's now the minister, not governor of Ebonyi now, okay? So if Nigeria get 15 trillion to spend for real, right? I'm just going to go on the internet and just type bad federal roads in Nigeria. Baba, I was able to collect more than 30 videos that I cut down to about 21 minutes long. I only show you a few of that yesterday, okay? Then I woke up this morning and I saw the Arise News doing exactly the same thing. Picking up some of those bad spot road, everything, I'm presenting that to say, why is he not doing something about this?
Okay.
Right? And that reminded me of when somebody said there are things we will talk here, and Nigerians will kind of pick on them until maybe a day or two later. That got to me. Prince.
I'm telling you. Baba, so it now dawned on me that I was now asking myself, do we really need a coastal road? Why are we building a road close to a beach? Is it more profitable? A beach road, the beach front all over the world is always an investment haven. Why are you building? I've never seen a beach that has a road
next to the water. They want to have one.
I'm telling you, what are we doing road on top of near water when we can give the land the space to investors. There's what we call tourism investors that will invest in front of at beach fronts. That's what beaches are for. Why are you building a road? That's very mundane. It's very
the plan is to take
boring.
the land, Baba. The plan is to take the land, and
I was not thinking that Tinubu is trying to take over. He wants to build that road now. So he has now cut off those businesses from the beachfront. Then he will now go and sample the other side of the road. It will now be a new beachfront.
Yes.
Where his business will now take over. That means this guy wants to take the whole beachfront from Lagos to wherever. This is very bad.
And they have to destroy an already existing business to do that. And they also destroy people's homes to achieve that. Okay, and they are not listening to the voice of reason, by the way. Yes.
But when I think all these things, and just what comes to my mind.
You remember when I showed this? If you check your screen right now, Prince, right, you'll see this. Okay. Remember you mentioning about the road next to water or not another, right? There is actually an existing road where it was meant to be expanded and then stretched over, so that they can save all these businesses here. Okay,
exactly.
But they choose to come here deliberately. And they now, after
demolishing those businesses,
they now went to
after demolishing those businesses. After demolishing those businesses, you now go and connect to that road again.
Again, yes, they will now go and connect to the front. When they could have spared all these people, right? Do the road on the back there, demolish some few demolition over there, right? And then just keep going straight. And then anything that is on the right of way, which is the original plan, now they have resorted into using media guys to spread propaganda and turn it into Igbo versus Yoruba thing now. So that with that,
Baba,
all of us will be distracted. And we can
forget about it in 2 days. You know what? Prince. And when this man bought that land, did you see the video? There was one video they did about the man's business when he was thriving. When this man bought the land, that place was bush.
I said he also reclaimed some of the water himself. Sure you get, but
and there's no road before there.
No, nothing.
This is a new place. So government that wants to build for the people cannot be destroying the people. Baba, we need to something needs to be done to these people.
Anybody will won't bless you, we never stress you. That's the point. God bless you, Prince. It's really good to hear from you.
Thank you, Baba. Right on. Will they pray for you?
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's Prince Adebayo calling in from Sweden. Now, my line is opened again, okay? But just remember, we had this chat last night. We said, let's try our best and leave the comment section. You even check it yourself. How could you have like over 1,000, 700, 800 people still watching, right? And you just could barely have what? You could barely have 700 of us who have paid their offering, right? Come on, do it. Here is a brother. Hello there.
Hello, good evening.
How are you tonight, Baba?
I'm fine, thank God. How are you too and your family?
Well, I'm here, surviving, I would say. Thanks for asking, though.
Yeah, I want to contribute on this aspect. You see what happened yesterday. Umahi tried to drag Peter Obi and the whole of
Even
Igbos.
if you drag Peter Obi, I'm not going to get any issue with that.
Yeah.
Why drag Igbos into what they have no business with? For what?
Yeah, you know that Umahi under Bukhari, Umahi was Bukhari's anointed candidate to run for the
That's what they told him. Yeah, that's what they told him, and he started acting, that way.
Yes.
But they told
he obeyed Bukhari.
Too. You know that. Amechi
yes,
was told
they told Amechi,
candidate.
Yeah, but later on they dumped Amechi. Even Amechi noticed it. You noticed that they have dumped him. So Umahi was trying to please Bukhari in every aspect, which he did eventually. He killed a lot of Igbos youth in Ebonyi State. But Ebonyi State is no-go area.
I know.
Do you know that Umahi cannot come out of his home residence in Ebonyi State to maybe without police or convoy? They will throw him to death.
As a former governor, just take a
They will throw him to death. They will stone him to death. I'm telling you. I know all these things. Do you know how many youths are missing? Even till today, their body is not found. They killed and buried. They threw into the river.
I know.
I'm telling you, just to please Bukhari.
I know.
You know that Bukhari has a very deep hatred for Igbos. And that was why up to now he's still keeping Martin Nadikale as a trophy. Even this was the agreement between Bukhari and Thiefnubu that if Thiefnubu take over, he should keep Nadikale in that place for him. Just for him as a trophy, you know. So my point is that yesterday, Umahi dragged Igbos and Peter Obi, and there were videos going viral, you know, trying to spoil his image, tarnish his image. That he did the same thing in Anambra State. Why he was the governor? This is what they say. A transparent man. Peter Obi is very transparent. He came out the following day to debunk that negative viral video. You know, my point is that he was not silent. He came out to debunk it. Give the reasons that the fence which he demolished was the fence standing on a road.
Existing road, not a new road.
An existing road in a map. Not that this was an investment, you know, but this one was an existing road, which means the company intentionally collected that land to extend their company, you know. So it was illegal. So even if he demolished it, it was right. But this landmark now is that this is a totally different thing. This is a totally different thing. This man came to you people.
That you can actually design and avoid some certain things if you still really want to do it, okay? Or better still, if you actually have such resources, with the level of bad roads in Nigeria, you could be saving a lot of lives. These are just opinions. Why bring Igbos into it if you are not a self-hating Igbo?
Why bring Igbos into it?
Umahi,
Why bring Igbos?
Why bring Igbos?
Why bring Igbos into it? And again,
the I want people to know that it wasn't an error. It was intentional, and he went as far as saying Igbos, some Igbos are illiterate. Their Obi is misleading them. So, how is Obi's opinion about policies that he's been part of, right? How is that the opinion of Igbos? But it is intentional. I want people to remember that, okay? It is intentional. It's called dog whistle. When you blow it that way, what was Umahi expecting? For some Igbos to come out and say he's right? Or what? It's unfortunate, man. Thank you so much. I think our line kept acting up by Dubai. But here is another caller. Baba.
Yes, Omoyeremi.
Bontiwa o.
Ajusere o.
Ashe o bami. Ashe o.
Ami chakiti o.
Ashe o. Ashe o. Atiwane o.
Mayegun. It's a pity for Yoruba. It's a pity for Yorubas.
This is where we are, sir.
Some people are still saying Thiefnubu is our our man. And they still rely on him that is going to perform miracle for them. And instead of that, they don't know Thiefnubu, they don't understand Thiefnubu. Thiefnubu is dipping Yoruba into more problems. That for us to get out of Nigeria is complicating every day in the out.
Is somebody who doesn't give a damn about Yoruba. He has milked it for so long, and now that he's at the pinnacle of his fraudulent career, right? Criminal career. Nigeria can break down.
If they know Thiefnubu is ready to sell the whole of Yorubas for his own personal interest.
That's right.
And people, very annoying, people will still be saying, people are crazy. It's a pity. So, well, just keep on doing what you are doing. Your program is very educative, and God will continue to strengthen your power.
Amen.
To forge ahead.
Amen. Thank you.
But it's a pity.
Thiefnubu ò ní ba gbogbo kí ló ti ń pè iyì tó kù tí Yorùbá ní
In fact, he's damaging it more than Buhari.
By the time it's done, I hope some of us, Yorubas, we would have enough courage to walk in the open with our head high and still claim that we are that intelligent, most educated, well-traveled Yorubas that we're talking about. When Thiefnubu is done with all of us.
See the kind of what they sold to the masses of Egbaeko, and people now start running. Àwọn èèyàn yọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀hún sọ pé Yorùbá alágbọ́n jù.
Irọ́ ni.
We are nowhere without
àti jẹ́ kí àwọn ẹni ibi kí wọ́n take over power ni. That's what power does. Check. You see, they said if you don't choose the right people to lead you, you see those wrong people that have been chosen, they will make laws that you must obey.
Can you believe Yoruba campaigner on campaign for APC during that election?
It's like all this Yoruba nation, some of them, it was just a cover. The moment it was time to take off the mask, they did not hesitate. Even those ones where we say, sir, those ones that we give over 5 million naira to on this platform, because Nigeria attempted to kill them for standing up to, for saying they want Yoruba nation. Remember them now, Igbo boys. We gave them we gave them over 5 million naira on this platform. 5 million naira cash. I gave them.
I know now.
Sir.
I know.
When they were doing the inauguration for Kolu in Abuja, they were there. They actually had Ankara. They were there.
I saw them. And to my surprise, the so-called member of a Yoruba campaigner, something, Yoruba media, Yoruba media, they changed their platform to campaign for the APC. Yoruba.
Baba, the last sir. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Send my greetings to the family.
And yours too. God bless you. Now I have another caller on the line here. Hello there.
Good evening, Uncle Michael. Is it Aduke?
It is Aduke. How are you, Aduke?
I am very well, sir. Good evening.
Well, good evening to you. So, you're watching tonight as well?
As always.
As always. So, tell us more. What would you like to add tonight?
I want to expand people's mindset in regards to the fact that there's a lot of uneducated people in Nigeria.
A lot.
So as we analyze the stories, for example, you were discussing about the Yoruba nation and how many of them are changing their focus. 1 minute they're concerned about the Yoruba power, and the next minute they're actually trying to get money.
Seriously.
But we have to understand contextually. I believe 60% of Nigeria's landmark has no viable secondary schools. So when the British left, they really left with the education system. Okay, so you're looking at a nation with no education. The Yorubas was
miseducation. I usually say that myself. Like, what we call education in Nigeria right now is actually social conditioning, or what they call the social engineering, to just make people live and exist in a certain way, not independent minded, because the education they are giving to them is never going to make their minds independent. I passed through the system myself, and I promise you, it is total conditioning, not education.
Yes, and so the average Nigerian doesn't have electricity. So if I don't have electricity, where am I going to watch the news? If I leave my house, I'm trying to get to work on time. I don't have a phone. The average Nigerian does not have a phone. I don't think people know this. They don't have the mobile phones they have. It's just the basic mobile phone. There's no Wi-Fi. Right. So you're thinking from a Western perspective. When I say you, I mean we as a community. We're thinking from a Western perspective, and we're saying, why don't these people do something? But the average Nigerian does not have access to what you have access to. By the time the average Nigerian, maybe he's a cleaner, he's a security guard, he gets to work, he cannot read, he's thinking about what to eat for lunch. He's thinking about how to pay his son's 500 naira a month school fee. So where is he going to get information about what is going on in Nigeria?
Probably not going to be interested.
At all. So when we complained about why are those people living under the bridge, where else would they go? Where
else would they go?
Where are they going to go? So in our anger, I just encourage us all to think critically. And let's take that anger to a narrative that actually impacts us and gets us thinking. Let's not think about ourselves. The average Nigerian does not have electricity. Do you know what that is in 2024? You don't have electricity.
It is a big disadvantage. I mean, we can all agree.
So where are they going to get the news? Where are they going to get this information? Where are they going to get it? They cannot even read. So should I buy a newspaper for 500 naira when I can't even eat?
No. That's deeper. And even those who probably could read, they themselves are not much different from those who can read, right? Because the situation in that place has now turned to people are just thinking about the next meal. You know what I mean? Like they are not even planning to do anything, like impactful on their own immediate community or the society at large. They're just interested in what are we going to eat tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, what am I going to eat tonight?
Or tonight.
How am I going to get home?
You can't be bothered with all of that and possibly function normally. No one can.
You can't. So when we're analyzing this and we're wondering, okay, why are the average Nigerian not doing anything? Because the average Nigerian does not have food. I worked on a project, Uncle, where they were trying to take tech into Nigerian schools. Right. We analyzed this project for 3 months, and you know what we found out? What? That the average secondary school could not read. But before I give you tech, you must be able to read the program.
Right.
How can I give you tech? Everyone's shouting tech. Can you read? Can they write?
And that would be so heartbreaking to look at young people missing out in that very critical stage of their lives, right? And here they are just like being put to test of something they should have. Like, it will be so sad. And that is what they do in Nigeria, okay? They intentionally breed us, incapacitate us, so that by the time we seems to be matured enough, we just join the army of the confused citizens. It's unfortunate, and well, that would then take us to this one, Aduke, and that one has to do with those who claim to be elite, those who actually, who can read and write.
Yes, and I just
they will never speak up except if they are affected.
One more point. Oh, sorry, Uncle. One more point. I want to clarify here. We also have to understand Nigeria has different areas. Not all the cities look the same.
No.
So if you are in Lagos and you think that's the city, every city looks very different. So you might be on social media thinking, oh, this person's in Nigeria. That's like 10%. You have Calabar, you have Port Harcourt, you have that. It's so big. I don't think we understand how big it is.
Kano, Kaduna, and their cities too.
So big. There's some cities, Uncle, that by 5 o'clock, everyone's in their house. How does an economy move where 5 o'clock, everyone's at home? So you have to think about that socially. How does that affect the average Nigerian if by 5 o'clock, I'm in my house? I just wanted to share that.
Like, you know, where somebody also said something like the economy, you know, the society actually really works at 24 hours. It's always on the move, right? But you have places in Nigeria where it is permanently expected to be shut around latest by 7. Anything above that, you might be taking some risk. So that then raised that question again. How do you really expect the country to move if you operate that way?
But they don't want the country to move.
It's a tough one. I know.
Yeah.
Aduke, you've raised another vital point tonight, right? Thank you so much for watching.
Critical thinking. Thank you, Uncle.
Critical thinking.
Odabo.
You have a lovely night, okay? So that's Aduke. One will say somebody who has a personal experience. I mean, like going back to Nigeria, initiating some direct projects that has to do with people, something that is, you know, should be a great experience. And for you know, for a lady like Aduke and many like her too, there are still those who have somehow are finding answers to why Nigeria is not working. Okay? And to them, if you can see why it is not working, not just seeing who is making it not work, and you can possibly be able to profile a lasting workable solution. I love our enthusiasm, or what do you say? But my dear Aduke, you do well. I'll leave it at that. Let me speak to Prince. This is Prince JJ Man, representing IPOB.
POB for life.
For life. Prince, how are you this evening?
I am fine, Baba. Respect.
Thank you. So, please.
Well done today again. Oh.
Thank you.
Happy new month to you and all the members of the House of Truth and Justice.
Happy new month to you too, the Prince. Please.
Yeah, Baba. I want to also tell all the members of the house that today, this month is our month, the month of the Biafran.
Remembrance.
Yes,
you even send me a sticker for that. I'm going to put that up. Continue.
Yeah. So this is the month of the Biafrans Heroes Remembrance Day.
That's right.
In fact, we also call it our Independent Month, and that is 30th May. And in Biafra land is going to be lockdown, total lockdown. You know, on that day, 30th May, internationally, we are going to be having our rally throughout the whole world. So I want to the world to know it through on this platform.
Thank
you. Secondly, I'm coming out with a new banger titled Parasite.
Yeah.
The song that I'm going to launch. Yes, 2024. In fact, it's going to come out this month, and we are hoping to launch it on that 30th May, the Biafran Independent Day.
That will be great. Now, tell me about you know, the 30th of May's Remembrance Day, because I could actually come around. You know that?
Oh, great.
No, not great yet. I'm not promising yet. I said I could.
Baba, if we see you, that would be great, honestly.
I'm just saying that now anyway. So that's so good. But continue, though.
If you tell us you are coming, we're going to plan towards it, honestly.
No, I know you would. You know.
Yeah.
Prince JJ Man, I would love to. That's the point, okay? And you just never can tell. If it's not all drop and all that, I would love to be there. Even if I have to just fly down, spend an hour or 2, 3, and come back here same day. I think I can still do that. But please continue.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will talk. The last time Prince wanted me to come to London, I still feel so bad about it, Prince, that you have to spend that much. There's something came up, I couldn't, or more. But hopefully I will make it this time. But please continue, so.
As well. So, Baba, as I said, please, I want everyone on the Temple of Truth, my channel on YouTube, please subscribe for this coming song. It's about the unity of Nigeria. The title is called is a Parasite. That's the song that I'm going to release. It's gonna be a banger. So I'm there.
There is a Prince JJ Man YouTube account. All you have to do is just to click on his name under YouTube. Click on his name. It will take you to his profile. Please subscribe too. Please.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Baba.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So, Baba, based
I'm going
on
to go help you copy it and drop it in the comment. But you continue. You've got only about 2 minutes left anyway. Go on.
Okay, Baba. So just a quick one. What I want us to know is this: talking and talking and talking without action is useless. Just as prayer and prayer and prayer, no matter how beautiful your prayer is, without action is useless. Okay.
That's right.
Why I want us to know this is because you see, I'm happy that I saw Showure coming up, and there are people behind him with a placard. You know, that is action. This kind of thing that we want, no matter how small it is. Okay, so if we really, Obi has been talking and been talking, he told Nigerian youth to be calm. If he didn't tell them to be calm, I'm sure that Nigerian youth are ready to hit the street. They are, in fact, everybody has gotten to the pinnacle of the Wahala. Okay, now he has been talking very good, talking very encouraging. Now, if with this talk, what APC is doing, you see Umahi gaslighting Igbo. Everything as he used to say is deliberate. All that they are doing is to keep the people fighting on social media, keep you busy, confused, fighting each other.
Imagine those who supported Bokwari, complaining that the obedience, they are insulting people on social media. Baba, Bokwari supporters killed over 800 people because he lost election in 2011. I won't forget that. The coppers they killed in Bauchi, all because they said Bokwari lost election. But the people who defended Bokwari and supported him with this murder are now telling you that obedient and their keypad and their phones, they are threat to Nigeria. In our lifetime, Baba, our lifetime, I witnessed both.
Baba, thank you. You see, Nigeria is a vampire vineyard. Only blood of the innocent is what is keeping Nigeria as one. Blood of the innocent and crude oil. Minus this, there's nothing like Nigeria.
There's nothing left.
Okay. Oh, what I'm saying on the final note, because of my time, Obi, what he should do now is to call out people to protest. You cannot talk and these people will shake body. Call out people. It has gotten to the zenith that the suffering, people are dying on daily basis. You cannot, this talk cannot take us even up to 2 to 3 years with this vampires in Asorok. It will take nobody anywhere. No. The only thing he can do, if you know that he loves Nigeria true, is not to wait for 2027. Protest is your right. These people are abomination. They are destroying the country in every second as you count, minutes and hours. Giving these people time to be destroying Nigeria can never help anybody. And they are buying time to keep on gaslighting, keep on intimidating people. That's only what they have. You know. So if they know, they came out during the time of good Lord Jonathan and protested.
Yes,
where are the Baccaras? Where are the what is it called? Adeboyes. Where are they? Where are all of them? Where all of them that protested? So Yinka, where are you? Come out now. Now is worse. How much are you buying petrol then? How much are you buying it now? How much are you buying the food rice then? How much are you buying it now? All of them are now like cricket inside their house and speaking grammar.
Double standard.
Come out and protest. Occupy Nigeria until all these criminals go.
I know.
Thank you, Baba. God bless you.
You have a good David, okay? That's the Prince there, Prince JJ.
All these criminals go.
I have another caller on the line. Is that Dami? Is that you?
It's Dami. Good evening.
It is Dami from Lagos. How are you today, Baba?
I'm doing fine, Jerry. Thank God.
You have fuel.
Yeah, so
because
oh
that's the way
well.
we greet people now. You know that you get fuel. I say, Baba,
I get fuel. I get fuel.
But if you get fuel, oh more you be rich man, or more. Who know Dammy's place? All of us should go and camp at Dammy's place tonight. You know the drill now. They say, Dammy, don't get fuel. Everybody.
Fortunately, or should I say unfortunately, I'm living in a house built by one of them, so we are so close that it would always get me fuel.
You get some of those privileges. Okay, enjoy it while it lasts, yeah? But don't ever tell anyone yet. Dammy, how are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to initially today I didn't want to call, but Aduke got me, she got me awake and I decided to make a call. Then Prince Ejeman, yes, Prince Ejeman also said something that I would like to add one or two things too.
Yes, man.
Prince Ejeman called on Obi to call people to protest. I will like to correct that side in the sense that, well, I'm just 32, so I'm a little young. But historically, I could say that with all I've seen and all I've read from the Nigerian history and all of that, there's never been a protest, successful one at that is not government sponsored or politically motivated. So if we are waiting on Obi to call a protest and we're expecting it to be a success, forget about it. It's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
So it has to be spontaneous, and people have to kind of do it themselves so that they won't say somebody has to tell them to stop or not. So it will just be spontaneous. I think that's
exactly. If it is not that way, it's not going to, and the only thing that came close to being that way was Enter's protest.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the people got distracted. That could have been the saving grace for Nigeria. But then it is what it is. About what Aduke said, a brilliant job. I mean, she said a lot of interesting things. How Nigerians are living in real poverty, real one, not kind of formulated one, not real one.
Yeah, not being exposed to proper
a lot of things
at the younger age and all that. Also, she said
exactly. So all those things she mentioned, personally, I've had my share of thoughts about them over the years, and I've told myself, you might not like this thing I wanted to say, but then permit me to just say it today.
Please,
I've told myself, Nigeria is not going to work. Yoruba nation is not going to come. The people will just continue living from hand to mouth, and the patterns will continue. And why am I saying this? I'm a student of
Go on.
I'm a student of history. I love patterns and I love data. When this fuel crisis began, I started digging into the past. I saw issues of fuel crisis in 1970s. I saw it in the 1980s. I saw it in the 1990s. I saw it in the early 20s. And now we are in 2024 and it is happening. And there's something about, if you do Forex or you're a student of data, you would understand that patterns repeat themselves. And there is nothing like a new pattern. It's always drag something from the past to exhibit the current truth. So if those things could be happening as far back as 1970s, which I know there are more, but I didn't dig further into history more than in the 1970s. I know fuel scarcity will continue to be Nigeria's problem
for another 200 years.
And far more than 200 years.
I mean, Yoruba nation won't come. I want to hear that too. How did you arrive at that?
Okay.
Is it because you haven't seen any real pattern that could lead to that, or what? Share.
This is why I said that. If fuel scarcity and real problem, real tussles, real challenges, real poverty has been confronting the people all this long, and nothing is happening till date. Trust me, Nigeria will continue, and no new nation will come out of this country. I mean, I was in my house recently. You know, our light has not been good for over like 4 or 5 months, and suddenly they brought light, and I saw these young kids around. You know, the eldest of them should be probably 7, 8, or 9, shouting up NEPA. In my head, I'm like, all these guys here, they didn't even meet NEPA. They didn't meet power holding. They only meet Ibadan electricity distribution or Ikeja electricity distribution or anyone. And they are shouting up NEPA. This is a pattern repeating itself. It's a pattern that has been existing since a long time, and it continues to repeat itself. So if Nigeria could not solve a problem as simple as electricity since 1960 till date, and we think Nigeria will cease to exist since 1914 or what was that year, I don't think that's going to happen. Because the people are not even showing signs of readiness.
You might be very right based on your theory, right? It's similar to will people ever react. But from my own findings too, damn it, people have been reacting. It's just that the crafters of, or should I say the gatekeepers of Nigeria, they have devised one very tool that keeps them, and that allows them to keep the people at bay. And that is the tribal, ethnic, religious, and sometimes class war rhetorics. So the moment they feel like the people are beginning to come together ideologically, they will begin to implant that. So it makes it more like prolonged, and it makes it more like it's never going to happen. Okay, to say which of the people are going to really rise up and do this?
That's the point.
You get what I mean now, right? But you can always, like, it could be all hopeless. But from history, I just give you this one before you go, Dami, because I know say you are a data person and I don't want to dispute your data. I just want to say, what about this too when we are talking about a pattern, okay? So I remember that in 1922, during that time, they had this Jenna Clifford Constitution or something. I can't remember that guy who was in charge of Nigeria in 1922. Then, right, they were offering the educated natives in Nigeria the idea that they could be part of the colonial government, but they would never have any political power or authority. Some people settled for that. And guess what? They were comfortable with that for like 20, 25 years before some supposed product of Western education. Because when the British were educating us and all that, it was like they are putting us on their own way, training us their way, right? So we're supposed to kind of be like them, or we're supposed to be like so much like obey them, Baba. So, Dami, guess those who disrupted that arrangement, the same people that sent him for scholarship, Awolowo and Co.
Okay, yes, I think I'm familiar with that now.
You remember, right?
Yes.
Those who sent them here, running the place back then, they were comfortable with the arrangements. Like, they were making their pushes here and there, right? So when they said when Awolowo and his mates started the IGBOPHOBIA, nobody knew it was going to be a political party that was going to become the pioneer government in Western region. They didn't know. But why am I saying this to you is that in the case of where it seems like, hopeless based on what we are seeing now, there are some certain things that do happen in the course of human history. Because, history is made by man, not the other way. So I want to put that in your mind too, damn it, that
but please permit me.
Yeah, sure.
Permit me. Your story now about Awolowo and the lies that formed IGBOPHOBIA and came back to Nigeria, took independence and all of that. It is faulty in a way. And this is where it is faulty. Okay. At the end of the day, the same people destroyed Nigeria. Because let's be real, the Awolowo story has always been a one-sided story.
Okay.
I is a good man, I is this, I is that. Nobody told the tales of how he sold Nigeria to the north because he wanted to become president. And nobody told the story of how he died as an opposition leader. How he taught the northern people how to put 2-3 cubicles together and call it a local government. Nobody told these tales. But at the end of the day, these guys are the ones that destroyed Nigeria. So in a way, these are patterns repeating itself as well. And let me even point to, let me chip in something too. The history of genocide in Nigeria is a pattern as well. Okwama killings didn't begin today.
Well, that's the many.
I mean, Biafra didn't even begin. There will still be more. Biafra is an example of one of the genocides. And after Biafra, we have seen series and thousands of genocide, not even reported. It is the ones that are reported we are seeing. So, I mean, Nigeria is a very complex situation, and as much as I'm hopeful that things get better and we have the Yoruba nation out of it, sometimes I just sit down and I just tell myself, okay, how? Who are the ones going to do this? Yes.
I know. So it can be a little bit hopeless that way, okay? But Dami, people like yourself, you want to see the sign and wonders before you can actually really believe, and you know what I mean? Like mentally, so to say, okay? It's like something you know that is good. We heard a lot about it. But can we see those who are going to make that happen? I want to see it before I can believe it's possible. Or you will see it, Dami. And I pray you live long enough to see it too, right? Because the moment you see that
pray so too, because it's what I want. But then,
that's what I mean. Like,
I pray
see,
so.
the moment you start seeing that sign, you will know. And guess what? You will be one of the most happiest people. Even if the Yoruba nation will not come while you are still alive, you will be so rest assured that it is like you're not going to die believing that it's never going to happen. Something will happen that will make you feel like, yeah, at least now if I want to die now at this age of 80 and all, I'm just saying, you know, well, with peace, we have achieved something that will give the succeeding or the descendant of the Yorubas their freedom. So put that in mind.
Believe.
Okay, Baba. Thank you so much for calling in as well, Baba.
Thank you so much, sir, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a really great job, and we'll always pray for you.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much for that. Now that's Dami. You see, a lot of people should understand this, that I personally have told you, okay, that our ancestors, they were not all good and they were not all bad. So if you are reading about them, don't try and be the prisoner of their history. Learn from what they did right and do it better. Avoid what they did wrong, so that at least in your own case, we can say you are helping to live the world better than you met it, right? Here is my last, here's my last caller, maybe. Hello there.
Hello,
hello, sir. How are you?
I'm all right. Good evening from this. This is Chooks from Canada.
Did you say Chooks?
Yeah, this is Chooks from Canada.
It is Chooks from Canada, bro. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm all right. And you?
Well, very well. You know, I'm kind of like, you know, I can't complain though, right? But thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I called to chip in something pertaining to what the last caller said. Yeah. I know he has his reasons or indices, you know, in arriving at that his conclusion. But one thing I've learned in life is that consistency breaks resistance.
That's right.
Maybe let's take, for instance, you. Remember when I started following Maiyegu, you know, Maiyegu didn't just jump out from nowhere. From your days in the kitchen, you keep preaching. I've seen people who called here, you know, and they will say something like you can see that these people they don't have the belief. You see Lady Charm or I could remember the very day Lady Charm called. I could remember what Lady Charm said. Each time I see Lady Charm call now and contribute massively, I'll just shake my head. That is
you remember that first time? Where I remember too, where she was pretty much like, it's not that it's bad to have your country, but you see this country, Nigeria, we all need to. Now she doesn't say that anymore. You're right.
Yeah, I could still tell you about Osita. I know how massive Osita has contributed, when discussions are going on here, I could remember what Osita said about Nnamdi Kanu. It was through your program that he now started seeing some certain things
also
about
changed
Nnamdi
from
Kanu.
here. You are so right, Baba. That shows how long you've been here too, because some of the veterans you are seeing here today, they were not always like this, but with time, consistency, you said. Go on, Baba.
Yeah, if you want Nigeria where we are, I think is miseducation and delusion by our politicians. And there is this saying that says it takes a deed done by 7 can only be atoned for by 7. It will take a long time. People will keep on calling, saying that this is wrong. And when you tell them, because most of the time, these people don't have the real information. Do you understand me? It takes, that consistency to teach them this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong. And within themselves, they will be watching something, seeing themselves.
You know what I actually see is true. I mean, it's these chooks, right? I say a lot of things. I don't write them. I just see them as they come to my head and come to my mind, and whatever I remember as well that I've actually read somewhere. What I've discovered is that in the course of me just talking, there are people here who became a devoted member of this platform, right? Simply because in the course of listening, I said something that got to them and got them thinking, apart from all the hours I put into this, right? Just something. And they would come here and say, you said something one day and it got me thinking throughout the night. That's when I realized that, man, I have to stay with this guy and listen more. I've seen that too.
Yeah, even Nnamdi Kanu people are talking about Nnamdi Kanu. I could still see how Nnamdi Kanu started. Nnamdi Kanu didn't just jump out of. You see how he was able to convince majority of Igbos, the majority of Nigerians, even people who are not Igbos.
Yes.
Do you understand me? So
let's not something that somebody just say, let me go and join this thing that is trending. No. We actually started from the passion that we felt we had to see if we could save ourselves, our people, from the looming tragedy, which is this economy, security, and the rest that we are now witnessing today. Until we realized that all these things are not even by accident. They were by plan. They were all intentional. And then we realized that it's better we get out of this mess or else we are doomed. You're right. We are not somebody who has, we are not accidental vloggers, accidental YouTubers. No.
No. Even when he started the NSAS, do you understand me? I believe when NSAS started, majority of Nigerians didn't know that it would even go that far that it went. So whenever any other thing like that came up, I bet you that it will go, it will go far. So let's just give up. It's just a matter of educating people, talking to people until you get, just like you always say, until you get the number of people that is needed for this to happen.
To match. I told you, I said this is the hardest work. Nobody wants to do it. Everybody just feels like, you see, we are all suffering. Oh yeah, let us go on the street, Jerry, and all of that. But they now realize that no, it doesn't work that way. This is the hardest job. Where people 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, they will begin to understand why they are facing what they are facing. And if they know the source of how they got to know that, they might listen to the source, again, on how to get out of this. When we have the number, we will match. I don't see the number yet.
Exactly. So I'm not. I want to say. I want to ask you the question. Is that coastal, whatever coastal road they want to build, that they started destroying people's investment and all that? That road was supposed to take up from. It's supposed to Igbos to Calabar. Just a question, or an innocent question.
Okay.
Why didn't they start from Calabar, at least to give that man enough time? Because this is road that they know that they are not going to finish in the next 10, 15 years.
Somebody asked that same question. The reason why they didn't start from Calabar, Hughes, is a very easy and straightforward answer too. They have no intention of building any goddamn coastal road, Chooks. Okay? So they will use the resources like they did in Lagos. They will use the resources of the federal government of Nigeria, the people's resources, right? To, do what they are doing right now, build partly of the road, claim the land, and you will never hear anything about it anymore. I promise. But time will tell. Let's see how far this goes. Chooks, thanks so much.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, you have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm
going to take one more, and this caller, I should ignore you, but I think this is Martinelli. Is that you?
Yeah, not me, Baba.
It is Martinelli. You shall want still this last 5 minutes where they take back. I'll give it to you.
I beg, no vex, no vex. I for no call you now for comment section. I just jump.
What's happen for comment? Oh, I never see your comment.
Nothing happen. I just they hear people they talk about military. I don't know whether they play. I mean, they be serious, So I just think I just call asking you. Should they play me? Say, is it playing or is it?
It must be a play. I do. See, I tell people. Some people are thinking that this is a sheep talk to say maybe you should come, Jerry. Hey, I will be here. I shall be here, inshallah. Go on.
Are you daft or deaf? Which one?
Maybe both.
I'm talking to the people now that are talking about military. Is it that people you are daft or you are deaf? It's a simple question. Because I don't know what exactly don't you understand about the military structure of Nigeria? You don't have military forces. You don't have soldiers. You don't have police. You don't have air force. You don't have navy. You don't have security apparatus. What you have are mercenaries. They are not there to serve you. They are there to serve those who appointed them. All you have are all the military, whatever you have, they are all appointees. They are not
decorated.
They are never going to serve you. Which part of that don't you understand? The man standing behind Thiefnubu signed his form for him to go to NDA. Thiefnubu no sign form here. So you would expect that man to shoot Thiefnubu on the head. Who is going to come and serve you in the military? Please mention that person if you know one. Who? Anybody in the military right now, anybody in the Air Force right now, they got there through.
They are career criminals, exactly. Some of them are even waiting for their turn.
Are you people dumb
right now?
You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you people?
I don't know that people are still playing with military.
The Umahi that is busy twerking, he knows what is going to happen to him. He's ready. He knows he's going to come back in shame. He knows. So leave Umahi, let him keep twerking. Forget about Umahi and focus on your own self. Why are you expecting somebody to come and save you? Mayegun, did you not see Georgia?
I saw
Did you not see Georgia? They are rioting right now. Nobody has been shot. Their house just passed a bill. And the people came out. They are turning the whole country upside down right now. Right as we are talking right now, Georgia, they are out on the street.
About French Revolution that we are reading about.
There's nobody leading the protests out there.
French Revolution. Now bread cause problem. Now bread.
Everybody.
Price of bread will cause wala.
They play. They wait for somebody to come assist.
Nobody is coming. I've told them that already.
The military is coming to rescue you. They play. Military might rescue you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you have a wonderful night as well. Okay.
Too, Baba.
So this is where we're going to draw the curtains tonight. And thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I hope I see you tomorrow afternoon, hopefully, which is tomorrow morning as well. Thank you for your time. And please like the broadcast if you haven't. Share it as well if you haven't. And if you joined us towards the end of this chat, watch this from the start. It's quite interesting. I promise. You all have a good evening. A good night. Odaro.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun Diary political. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Kíkó nìna kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o ayé.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọ́ mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o ákàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹ̀yin bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.